lazy this weekend, which is my usual for the weekend, and I got a head start on that.
Yeah, yeah, I've pretty much woke up late today. Had the opportunity to commentate a Zelda 2 rando match just earlier, and now I get to commentate another tournament match today. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Oh, you were on the earlier one a couple hours ago.
Yeah, yeah, I did it with Star. It was really good.
Cool, cool. Well, yeah. So ghostDunk versus homerjsmash. They are some of the newer racers in the randomizer community and the Zelda 2 randomizer community. I don't know if they play other randomizers other than that, but um, I mean, I think that I suspect that they'll be they will have made a lot of progress since the last time we restreamed them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, I can say I've raced Homer J a few times, and he's definitely beaten me quite a lot. He certainly learns quite a bit about this game every time he goes out. So I think both of our runners are going to do very well. I'm not as familiar with ghostDunk, but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this. I think it's going to be a really fun matchup we got.
Well, ghostDunk has a cat and a guitar, which everyone can't see, but I think that gives him an edge in this race.
Yeah, that is a really awesome background. I like that.
It's a nice room. I guess I should maybe clean this place up to be a cool commentator. All
Yeah,
right.
I definitely cannot match that background myself either. That's just killer.
Hmm. All right. Looks like we're about to get started. Just 5 more seconds.
Zero Wing has blessed our chat with shaking her pom poms.
Very nice. Oh, we got an immediate hammer block cave. You're not gonna lose or forget about that one.
Nope, got an immediate hint and jump cave. Or no, that's not a hint. Okay. That looks like the hit block, but apparently it's just not.
Nice. It
And
could also
shoot.
have been half of the fairy cave, but again, it's not. It's just someone died there or was put to rest there. That's it.
Yeah, that's just what happened there. So, looks like the trophy protects shield.
And it's helmeted.
Yeah, I actually like to get the hints, especially from the trophy, even though if it's something like shield where you don't necessarily need, so that way if it's like in a palace or something, you know you don't have to go into that palace
Yeah,
to
it's
dig for the item.
super useful. Yeah, I generally agree with that, and especially with a new version of the randomizer where it's not really guaranteed which direction you're going to be walking to get the item or anything like that. There's not really a meta you can follow to avoid or to get the item anymore. Um, Knowing which ones to dig for and which ones not to is very helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
And now we have ghostDunk and Heart Container Cave. Picking up an early attack level that, that's good. I'm a fan of that, of course.
Yeah, early on you want to probably prioritize attack just to be able to make these enemies a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to wait on magic. I do like to go get a few magic levels early on, and yeah, that's medicine, so that's nice. But I do like to get a few magic levels early on just because you never know when you have to use fairy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're required to use fairy early on, it's just nice to get those magic levels down.
Yeah, I personally try to save my heart container levels for when I need a refill on life when I'm exploring.
Yeah.
It's nice to get those. It's kind of like getting a free life in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're comfortable enough with that, like, I think life should be the last priority. And that's the flute right there that we found in the grass tile, so that could be useful.
Yep. 2D Flutie could lead to just about anything in this version.
Yeah. You never know with 3. Maybe the River Devil will actually have a use this time, too.
All right, Magic in their cave. Got a fusillade of gorillas, and I think ghostDunk's taking care of them very, very nicely here.
Some really good combat skills right there.
By the way,
Yeah.
if anyone else has heard the word fusillade in their day-to-day, let me know, because I hope I'm the first for everyone.
And ghostDunk picks up the raft, so if there's a raft tile nearby, that's a pretty good early pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for connectors and such, since we have anything goes on our 4 connectors, which means that there's 2 continental connector caves on the raft tile, which you need the raft for, and then there's a bridge that connects our continents as well.
Now, homerjsmash actually just demonstrated to us, getting a life level as a way of, replenishing your life. And he basically went from like 1 hit point to full hit points. So it was nice to get a demonstration of that, but I don't think he's going to survive right now.
Alright, so ghostDunk found a hint that there's a magic jar in P6. So.
And Zero Wing, yes, this is a dried canyon biome. You can tell because of all the bridges and stuff that have sort of collapsed, and all the desert tiles that basically flow like a river. Well, there we go. There's thunder.
Yeah, it's real nice to get thunder early on. That's not item blocked, and that's one of your basically 3 spells you're gonna need to complete the game.
What hint did Homer get? Barbara slithers with the what?
The magic jar.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, actually, for them right now, magic jars kind of would be a nice thing to get. Thunder's 89. A magic jar will take them up to 80. So if they get 2 magic jars, they'd be able to cast Thunder, which is nice to be able to get out of some bad situations.
Certainly not an item I'd go out of my way to dig through P6, but if I come across in P6, that's definitely something I'd like to see. I didn't quite catch what this one was. A spell. Okay.
Good to have that. No. It's nice to not be worried about double dipping or triple dipping Nukusudo.
Yeah, because that can definitely hide an item that might be useful.
And they won't have to triple dip Mito, which is nice, getting medicine early. They're probably hoping to get Fairy and Mito.
Yeah. If not Fairy, Jump, so at least you can get down step.
Yeah, if they end up getting Fairy and they've got 1 or 2 magic, they might not even be able to cast it. Which would be unfortunate. Alright, Teabag Cave.
Yeah, Teabag Cave.
What? ghostDunk's surprised too, if you can see his video. Did you see what happened there?
You look very surprised. I
just saw a hint for Death Mountain holds the something, and of course I forgot that. But yeah, he killed 1 orange Daira, and he got 2 experience gains from it. And they were not directly on top of each other necessarily. They were a little bit off, so it looked kind of like there were 2 enemies on top of each other. But I don't think you can get 2 enemies that are worth that much on top of each other in that way. So yeah, I don't blame him for being extremely surprised at that. I don't even have the slightest clue what happened.
Yeah, I don't either. Honestly, I was confused and thought ghostDunk just killed 1 enemy, so yeah.
Yeah. 300 experience. Not a bad thing.
No.
Alright, now we're going to get a better look at this hint. Boots. Okay, yeah. And Homer had this hint already. I just didn't quite read it the first time around.
Well, that could be unfortunate if East is like islands, and you have to go to Death Mountain to get boots.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like... Well, gosh, if I knew where boots were, I'd probably spend a couple minutes looking for them, because boots make everything easier.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Now a 500-point P-Bag. Alright, ghostDunk's gotten quite a bit of experience here. He might take a death soon, though.
Yeah, that's something you really love to see early on. Those 500-point P-Bag drops. It really makes getting early levels that much better. Core container, that's nice.
Guess he's not giving up this life then. It kind of goes to show you should always... Okay, there are 2 orange diarrhea in there. I saw it, yeah. Homer got 300 experience as well. It just wasn't as obvious because they were directly on top of each other with Homer when he was killing them, so he probably didn't notice.
Yeah, and I believe this is a candle on mixed enemies, so I think that's why that occurred, is that, yeah, those are just 2 mixed enemies there.
Yeah, I just don't... The only thing is, I don't think that this map is supposed to put 2 enemies in the same... Two walking enemies in the same sort of, like, little area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, one probably started... Oh, he did notice, and he's going back in for more. He's going to take a death here, though, but no, actually he did. Yeah, 300 experience.
Might have just fallen down that hole, yeah.
He's going to farm this. I don't know why he's going to... Maybe he just likes the experience of the orange diaries in general. Maybe he didn't notice that he's getting double experience at that first one.
150 is really nice, so...
Well, it's 300.
Yeah.
Because you're killing 2 at once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he totally noticed. When you... Okay, so what Homer is doing is basically... Oh, he got a life. That's kind of unfortunate. When you spawn... when you go into a palace, it kind of dumps the memory of which enemies you've killed and which ones you haven't killed. I think the same thing happens when you go between continents. So basically what that means is, if you're in a situation where you can go to a palace easily, you can dump that memory and just those enemies reappear in caves.
ghostDunk has found the connector to east and did not hit the statue, so do not know whether this is 5 or 2.
It's a nice color purple, though. I like that. Another free life for Homer.
It looked like it was a bridge that was north of west that took you north of east. And the palace here was just right here. And yeah, that's an annoying room.
Took a dip. So Homer J Smash is actually sitting on 4 attack levels now with that little grind he did. If he's smart with his first palace, he can come out of there with attack level 5, possibly 6.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely in good shape for Homer for sure.
Oh man, that's another death in this room.
It might be a game over, yeah.
Well, at least he was in the palace. The water of life, please come in. We're about to pick up another spell, one that ghostDunk doesn't have yet. Oh no, yeah, he does have it. Sorry.
I wonder if ghostDunk has some keys. I didn't remember if ghostDunk picked up any keys. Otherwise, ghostDunk's here without the fairy or the all keys, so it's a little bit of a risk to go in here without any keys if ghostDunk doesn't have any.
Yeah, I don't think he does. This could be. This could end up being a critical mistake. If this were 1, it's kind of like, well, you probably will find out. He's having a lot of trouble in this room, I hate to say. Maybe just go left?
Yeah, I'd probably go a different way here.
Honestly, oh well, yeah. These were some of the most annoying enemies when I kind of first started playing Zelda 2 Randomizer. Alright, so Homer realizes that the attack level that's next is at 1500 experience, so yeah, I don't know, he just dropped into that palace real quick and got a 500, or sorry, he dropped in that to wherever he was and got a 500 quick P-Bag. Up and 8 and left, yeah, it was a palace actually. Huh.
I didn't catch which palace I was. I was looking at ghostDunk, so I didn't even catch to see what palace Homer went
Yeah,
into.
I was too. Well, at least he knows not to look for the item in there anymore.
Yeah. Looks like Homer's going to check out East now.
Oh, P1? Okay. I guess in order to get an item, he probably had a key. I wasn't really paying close enough attention. There are keyless item rooms now in this version of the randomizer, so he might not have a key.
So Homer found out that this is actually P5 that ghostDunk is in right now, so this could be a long one.
Ooh, homerjsmash just barely made it into that room.
And it's found life in Casado. Old Casado, that is.
Mm-hmm.
But ghostDunk has found Guma, so that's good.
He could do it. I mean, attack 3, not too bad. Looks like he might have extra health, though, so...
Homer has found GP in East.
ghostDunk's doing sort of the jump-in strategy, and the way he's doing it, I'm not the biggest fan of. Not saying he can't execute it on it or anything, but stuff like that tends to happen. You know, especially when you're only getting one hit each, and you got attack level 3 against a boosted health Guma. I mean, you've got to do that perfectly, both the jump in and the jump out, like, I don't know, 50 times. So
yeah, I don't blame ghostDunk for exiting that one. I don't even think he was able to get one health point off of Guma there. So
yeah, it was, the health was overfilled. So all right, Homer got jump, so he can get down stab now if he wanted to.
Yeah, that could be nice. Might check out these other hints over there. I cannot fault at all. You definitely... Oh, that's a nice hint. Go east to find the magic key. And ghostDunk finds the glove. That's huge.
So both of these guys now have something really good for palaces. ghostDunk still will need to find key or fairy, though, before he can really...
Well, we do know that it is somewhere in the east, so... ghostDunk keeps checking these east item locations. I'm gonna come across that magic key.
And Homer, he's in the east right now, I believe. He's in the east, and it looks like another dried canyon biome here. So double dried canyon. Maybe we'll get triple, like the other day.
Yeah, Fairy is child locked today, so that's not fun. So they might come across the magic key before they come across the fairy.
Child locked, you say? I always found ways around child locks when I was a kid, so it should be okay.
And with jump, Homer's gonna go ahead and pick up upstab, which to me I would pick up in every seed I could with the way GP didn't stack nowadays. It's just safe and makes a lot of rooms easier.
Yeah, there are a lot of older players who like to avoid getting upstab and kind of consider it like a point of pride to not pick it up. And I can get behind that. It does take a while to go into Darunia and, you know, down the stairs, back up the stairs, talk to the guy, etc. But, you know, I find that it just speeds me up in general, especially in GP, especially with those waffle rooms. It's nice to have for other things, too.
Yeah, beyond even just the upstab locked room, I did not catch that hint.
I didn't see that either, sorry.
Yeah, there's some hints about where the child was, so if anyone in chat saw, much appreciated. But yeah, I agree. I think it just speeds things up in general beyond the upstab locked rooms.
Mm-hmm. And in a way, the earlier you get it, the more opportunities you have for it to save you time by upstabbing a spider or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that too. It just makes enemy kills a lot easier too. And Dash is in New Kasado. See how many magic containers you need to get in.
6 in Nukasudo. Not too bad, they're almost there, but I bet he wishes he had it right now. He does have the spell, so he might forget about the fact he has a spell and just leave. Can
Well,
you
I
not
think that a
cast
lot of times you might end up finding the magic container in spell.
it? Exactly.
So you just pick that up and then you can go and figure out what the other item is.
I guess he didn't want to pick it up or he can't cast it. I didn't see if he had enough magic to cast it yet. Oh, sorry. Patrick's saying too expensive, 84, and they have 80. Okay. And,
yeah, okay.
Thunder's 89, so I guess Spell and Thunder are similarly priced at Magic 3. The Spell tends to go down... Fire tends to go down pretty quickly. Spell, a little bit less quickly, I think.
The raft takes us to Maze Island. So Homer's found Maze Island. There's 2 items here.
I'm betting he's hoping one of them's a magic container.
Yeah, definitely.
P2. Nice golden palace here.
Doesn't have any keys. At this point, it doesn't look like keys are in the drop pool. We'll see there's another Continental connector as well, probably the Death Mountain. And ghostDunk gets upstab.
Well, this would actually be a lot faster if Homer had managed to find the boots, which are supposed to be in the east somewhere, right?
They're in Death Mountain.
Oh, Death Mountain, sorry. Well, we got something we need to make Death Mountain more explorable.
Yeah. That's the hammer, and we did see a hammer block in east.
Nice. And there's the hammer block cave right at the start of the game, too, so that's accessible now.
Okay, so Star points out that the hint says that the Goomba is sitting on the child. So that's... And there's a magic container for Homer.
Nice.
On his island.
So now Homer could go to Nukasudo, get both items out of there, and the spell possibly, if he's so inclined.
Yeah,
and
I'd pick up Dash.
Yeah, totally. Then up an A and get the other item near the start of the game.
Yeah. I didn't see if they went to... Oh, well, that's a very bad connector.
Yeah. I love it. Hey, looks like these guys are going to have a little high five right here. High five, stop.
So, it looks like the way to Death Mountain is in some connector cave somewhere that we've not seen, so... I think both of these are probably just gonna... Both the Bear Runners are just gonna ignore Death Mountain.
Oh, Clem. Oh, Clem. Why did you say that? Now you're making me want to make a reskin of Goomba as Santa Claus. With like a present instead of a mace.
That's a fantastic idea.
I want to now.
Looks like ghostDunk's going to go into P2. I don't think ghostDunk picked up any of the items, though. Just gonna go ahead and walk on into P2.
Yeah, a little surprised he didn't get the first item, because then he could have up and A'd from the spell tower. Now he's got to walk all the way back.
Yeah.
He might have forgotten about that item. Which would be unfortunate if it's important.
Oh, see a tracker on Homer's screen. Has not forgotten about it at this point,
cool.
so
that's good.
Looks like it's going back to it. I think we've seen everything but the top
Yeah, I don't think he needed to
That
go.
cave.
If he was gonna up an A, he didn't need to get his magic refilled either. But he might not be planning on doing that. Okay, that's a weird room on ghostdunk's side.
And
Oh,
there's Alki.
yes, sir. Now,
Here's
ghostdunk
something.
found the glove in one of the caves in the east, right?
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind is that ghostDunk found the glove and Homer still has not. So if Homer just goes ahead and starts to go into palaces right now without the glove, then it might be a while till we see the glove for Homer.
Mm-hmm. I think he's intent on finishing exploration of the overworld of the east.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Death Mountain. And that looks like an island Death Mountain.
Oh,
where the boots
miserable.
are.
That's effing wonderful. I love it. I love everything about it. Thank you, game.
And there's no other connector but that one, so.
Yeah. Oh yes, this is good shit. Oh, ghostdunk found his arch rival, a door.
Really, East and West were just so grounded like this that boots really, aren't really something they either need, I don't think. Now I found the top
you don't even see a lot of rivers running through these because I mean these are both empty, dried canyon biomes. So you're not gonna. I mean, if they were normal canyon biomes, like the boots would be indispensable. But it's dried canyon, so there's not a lot of water. Just by definition, there's not going to be a small. Now that I think about it, Digshake did a really good idea by making it so that you don't have like smaller rivers passing through the large river of the canyon. I never really considered that he must have done some programming stuff for that. It's pretty cool, but that also means you can't use like a river highway in one of these dried canyon biomes, at least not from east to west. Or perpendicular to the canyon, at least.
Yeah, it would have been really evil in this seed if the glove was in the water.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, well, it still could be useful for the water tile, but they don't really need it.
Nah, because the glove is in this cave that Homer's in, and don't need the trophy, and we know Goomba sits on the child, so that about covers it.
So we are looking. Yeah, we're not looking for any more items after this.
Nope. We're in jet mode after this.
Which also means they don't need to look in any of the palaces for items.
Well, they might actually. They'll probably go into P5 for.
Sorry.
Child.
Yeah, you just told me Goomba sits on P5, and I was like, well, brain doesn't really understand that right now.
Yeah, so that would be the only thing, which that's kind of unfortunate because P5 is definitely the one palace out of all the 6 that you really don't want to dig for an item for.
Oh, ghostDunk. I can tell ghostDunk has improved, but some of his combat is not as fluid yet, but I can definitely see he's getting there.
I think ghostDunk needed to do a little bit more overworld exploration before just digging into these palaces like ghostDunk's aggressively doing.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I mean, doing these palaces so early, I mean, he has to... Maybe he doesn't realize this, but you're never forced by the logic to go into palace before you can get the key or the fairy spell. So you can do palaces out of order, and if there's a lot of key drops in your drop pool, then sure. But otherwise, you might want to follow the route that the logic has laid out for you, and kind of understanding that logic on a game-to-game basis is sort of part of playing any randomizer, really.
Yeah, absolutely. That helped me a lot when learning this randomizer for sure, trying to figure out just the logic behind it. And that makes a big difference, even beyond the other things. If you understand what the randomizer is going to do, then even if you're really good at just the base game of Zelda 2, that's just going to give you a huge advantage because you know where you need to go or where to check and such.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, Homer probably has a fairly significant time advantage. Even though none of them have placed gems, I feel like Homer's probably at least 7 minutes ahead at this point.
Yeah, I think Homer's got a few more like knowledge of hints too that ghostDunk didn't pick up, as well as a few other spells too. And yeah, that's. I think Homer has got quite a few advantages over ghostDunk at this point.
And he's in P1, so he basically can't lose against this boss. So he probably would love to get above like above 800 experience, but I think he got his magic level a little too high to do a gem abuse. So he's, to be honest, he's probably comfortable with the levels he has now. So whatever, right?
And this was the palace that Homer went in and found the pea bag in, so I'm not going to be digging for items here after the fact either.
So Desi, I always hope for GP to be trolly, especially when it can bring two racers closer together.
Well, there's certainly a possibility, and there's the trophy in P2.
See, okay, right? You guys can't see this, but we've got a face cam on ghostDunk, and it's kind of one of the nice benefits of being a commentator here. And he was shaking his head when he got the trophy, but he would have known if he did more overworld exploration and town exploration that the palaces... I mean, he would have known exactly what he needed from the palaces and what he doesn't need. So he kind of spent this time for naught, unfortunately.
Well, he got the hints from the town that the trophy was in P2. I just don't think that ghostDunk recognized this palace, because I noticed on P5 didn't check to see if there's a magic jar, didn't check to see if there's a magic jar in this one either.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, if you got the hint, then you would expect that he would not shake his head at the trophy. But yeah, it seems he might not have realized which palace he was in. So, in case he watches this back, Palace 1 and 4 have the same window. Have the same kind of capitals. They look like a face. Capitals are the top part of a pillar, right? I mean, truthfully, like the pillars themselves are different, but I mean, yeah, but it's easier to look at the capitals. Anyway, Palace 4, of course, has the MOA at the front entrance. Palace 1 doesn't. Then Palace 2 and 5 have this sort of thing on top of the pillars. But Palace 2 has a red jar that drops at the beginning, and Palace 5 doesn't have anything that drops. Then Palace 3 and 6 have a different capital, but you can't tell them apart until you go inside. Now, additionally, all the palaces have their own specific windows. They all have their own windows, but you can only see that if you find a room that has a window in it.
Yeah.
ghostDunk out of keys again.
This P2's been pretty long.
He's been to this room before. He got a key, he used it, and I guess he forgot he used it and went back to that room. Which one has Windows 7? Oh, Windows 7 is obviously the correct palace, unless you're talking about XP. If there's an XP palace, that's better than Windows 7, but otherwise,
Windows Vista is the future.
Oh God. Windows ME.
Vita. So that's the first gem placed for Homer? Yes.
Gotta love when Microsoft pays off game companies to make it so that their games only work on Windows 10 for no reason at all. There we go. There's that. What? Okay. Someone put a small item in front of a big item.
cool.
That's yeah. I've never seen that.
And
Oh,
actually, which that might have been the case there, actually, where if you end up hammering, if there's like a hammer block or a rock in front of a cave, I've noticed that red jar like just likes to spawn where that rock usually is for whatever reason.
yeah, that's kind of weird. Zero Wing saying, and before Dig makes it so that all the colonnades have no top caps on them, and you have to go by windows only. At one point, like a year or so ago, he kind of asked me to make like column capitals or pillar capitals that have the boss's like face on them, and I was so that you would know which palace it is by that, and you know what bosses are there. But and I was willing to do it, but he sort of like decided maybe that he didn't want it, so I don't know. And I had some other ideas, but he just kind of stopped caring about it. So maybe he'll care about it next time he makes a randomizer again.
I mean, it's not the worst setup right now. I mean, there's really only 2 palaces you don't know, and that just probably makes it the fun of it more.
Yeah, I think he wanted it so that he could start randomizing which bosses are in which palaces, but at the same time, they kind of are in random palaces now, in a way. I mean, the only relationship between the boss and their palace is the link to the palace. I mean, everything else is randomized about the palace.
Yeah, basically every palace is randomized at this point, so yeah.
And by the way, Homer did find the bottom part of this room and got the heart container from it. The very cool item room that won the room jam last year.
Yeah, is Homer back in P1? Because Homer just beat Horsehead, right?
Not according to the tracker.
I guess not. So I saw Homer fighting Horsehead, yeah. Oh, he's in another palace. Okay. Oh, this is P4. Okay.
Cool. Alright, this is a very linear Valley of Death. Interesting. ghostDunk checking this out. We haven't seen GP yet, so there's a possibility GP could be here. Which would suck for ghostDunk, because it always sucks to get to the end of Valley of Death and, like, you have to go back through it. Or up an A.
We've seen GP on the east, so
sorry.
So it's not GP, and we know it's not P4 because, yeah, obviously Homer's in that right now, so we'll definitely be able to do it.
Well, actually,
gotta be P3 or P6, I believe.
ghostDunk actually won't be able to do it because he still hasn't gotten a key or the fairy spell.
Yeah. Gotta be relying on key drops.
But there are no key drops.
Yeah.
I think he maybe has a misunderstanding of how the randomizer works. But hopefully, by watching this back, he'll come to a better understanding there.
Yeah, because definitely I can definitely tell he's definitely practiced and made some good work. And that'll be the second gym placed by Homer.
You could say that the tough part about Zelda 2 Randomizer is that you've got to use your noodle simultaneously, like doing all these kind of tough fights that are in almost every, almost every area, while also trying to unwrap the knot that is how the logic of the game is gonna flow in this particular seed. So you kind of have to do both of those at the same time, while also memorizing the locations you've been to. So that's kind of just doing randomize in a nutshell. He should know that he shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I know some people say that, Zelda 2 is just, not a lot is randomized in the first place, that you don't even really need a tracker, but I disagree with that just because, I mean, if you do a lot of Siege, you're just gonna forget where, or at least I will, what you've already done from one seed to another, so I just think, having that, and both bow runners obviously are using trackers, but I'm just saying, I've heard that conventional wisdom saying it's just, too short to not use a tracker, but it really makes a difference because, you never know which items that you've done and haven't done, so that's just always helpful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree, Irene. It is really nice, especially if you're doing, 100%, and you're not as coming from rando like me, who's not too familiar with vanilla. That's definitely nice for that as well.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of funny. I don't know. I feel like a lot of maybe prospective players, they look at a game being randomized and they're like, well, you gotta be really good at the vanilla version of that game to be good at the randomizer, right? And it's like, no. No. Maybe for some games, maybe like A Link to the Past or whatever, but not for Z1 and Z2. Like, you don't really have to be a vanilla speedrunner to do very well in the randomizer.
It's a lot different when you're doing, randomizers in general, just because you're doing a lot of things that you wouldn't normally do in the vanilla game itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think a lot.
Sorry, go ahead.
A lot of, if you haven't played a randomizer before, like, I've even seen it on like the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer, where you might be familiar with Super Mario Bros. 3, but the randomizer is just different. You're going to be doing different things there that you're just not going to be as familiar with if you only do vanilla runs of SMB3. So it depends on the game that you're doing for sure, and that's no different here.
Mm-hmm.
I like this move by ghostDunk to go ahead and get down stab. Even if you're going a little bit out of the way to get it, I just like to get it. I'm not sure what item that Homer just picked up.
It was a heart container. He's maxed out on hearts now.
Okay. But yeah, I like picking up the down stab whenever I can, just because it just makes things so much easier, even if it does throw off my routing a bit.
Clem saying, "Who needs palace restarts?" Well, we did a build a flag set series, I think twice so far, maybe just once. Things kind of blend together, but basically with that, the winner of a seed would get to choose a flag to change for the next randomizer, for the next match, for the next weekly, and then the audience would get to vote on a selection of flags to implement for the next version. And at one point, someone was like, "Palace restarts? Yeah, let's try it without that." So they won a randomizer match and they turned off Palace restarts, and that definitely changed things up quite a bit.
Oh gosh, that sounds awful.
It was a bit painful, but I'm not just a masochist when it comes to Zelda 2. I also do like difficult seeds myself. It's not just watching people suffer through them.
Yeah.
See, ghostDunk is going for all these out of the way keys and stuff like that because he didn't follow the logic. And yeah, going out of logic can be rewarding, but not when you're doing it. Not when it means you're going to be missing something crucial and losing out on time throughout the whole seed.
Yeah, I just don't think Zelda 2 Randomizer is just made for you to go out of the way to find every key location.
Yeah. I used to be such a completionist when it comes to even the randomizer. And it just sort of comes from playing that way for video games in general. Like, I played Rogue Squadron series that way. I played, the X-Wing series that way. I played, I played, of course, all the Zelda games that way. You got to get all the stuff, all the masks, all the heart containers, all the capacity upgrades, and it takes a while to undo that mentality when you start speedrunning. At least it did for me.
That's when I was trying A Link to the Past. That's something that just never got out of my mind. I still, if I ever went back to it, I still wouldn't be able to do it just because there's just so many items in that game. You just don't. You gotta figure out which ones you actually need to use. And that's a good thing about Zelda 2 is that there aren't as many items as a lot of other Zelda games, so it's a little bit easier for you to learn and understand which ones you need and which ones really aren't going to do much.
Yeah. Dash on Goomba is an interesting choice. I've seen people fail at that. I'd like to see someone succeed at that. Hypothetically, it should work out just fine. But at this point, his dash spell's kind of useless because he's doing safe strats on Goomba effectively. Maybe he likes the rhythm of doing it with dash better. Because if you can dash further away from Goomba, then he's more likely to actually advance as soon as he can, instead of going back and forth on the edge of the screen and waiting, and then you have to sort of be surprised. So I guess dash in that case ensures that he's going to come out at a certain time, and so that might be why he decided to use dash there.
Yeah, I like using dash on Goomba. I think, it may not be the most effective way to handle Goomba, but Goomba's just tough in general, so going back and forth in a quick manner like that, I think works out fine. And yeah, so obviously, Homer could take a risk here and just exit P5, but definitely want Fairy. So.
Oh yeah. You definitely want Fairy. Interesting room here.
Probably going to take a little while to figure out where this item room is. Especially when P5's starting to look alike. It's all these different rooms.
And ghostDunk is in P1 right now. These big open windows are clear side of P1.
This is not the item room. Thought that might have been the item room. In our race earlier with Eladar, it's kind of funny, we were commenting that P5 ended up being harder than GP. Wow. Just with how twisted the P5 ended up being. So you never know how much more P5 that Homer's going to have to deal with here. That's why putting the child with the fairy in P5 was probably one of the more evil things that could have been done in this seed.
But potentially, it could have been a nice opportunity for ghostDunk to make a comeback. I don't think that's going to happen in that particular way here, though. But in another match, it could have been a nice equalizer.
This definitely is something that could definitely be that equalizing type. Especially if someone just decides to say, hey, I'm going to take a risk and not even go for this. I don't think that'd work out very well, but it'd be an interesting risk. I'd love to see.
When I first started playing Zelda 2 Randomizer, I didn't even realize that the order of the spells in your spell list is the order that you get them in the towns. And so I was like, oh, did I get the spell from this town before? I don't remember. Oh, I could just open it up.
Yeah.
Look at my list.
That's a really nice feature. That's probably just something that was in the game's programming, so probably not too much more had to be done with that, but that's really nice. And ghostDunk places a gem in P3, I believe, nice. Right? Or P1?
That was P1, yes.
Yeah.
Now it's going to proceed. This room is a room that I've complained about many times. If you don't have jump or fairy, you can't get out of that hole. And you're stuck and you get up an A. But he does have jump, so he's good.
Yeah, I picked up jump, so that's nice.
Now I think we remember P1 not having a great item.
It was just a pea bag.
I think ghostDunk may have already picked it up actually, so exploring after the boss, if you've already picked up the item, it's something you can do to get some more experience, but it's not necessarily going to help you in any way other than that.
Yeah, unless you're going for an item where you're like really close to a level up, bro, just up A after the gym place.
Mhm. Purple, purple, purple. Everything's purple. Purple curtains, purple background, purple pillars, purple foreground. Too bad the
I'll
sky's
say
not purple.
I did see ghostDunk take out the second NES controller there. Something I like about this randomizer is that there's this option to where you can instead of up-Aing on a second controller, you can up-select on the first controller.
Mhm.
Randomizer gives you that option. As someone who plays on the NES myself, that's like a very, very nice and helpful feature that I love.
I think Eon, Enchantress of Numbers, made that hack and Dig Shake incorporated that, or she was trying to make that hack and someone else helped finish it for her. I don't remember the specifics, but yeah, that was an idea that came from the community.
I'm not sure if Z1 Rando has that or not, but that's definitely something they should consider as well. But I digress, just commenting on how nice of a feature that is that Zelda 2 Rando has.
Oh yeah. I don't think ghostDunk should be going through this way. I think he's okay. I think he's gonna make it, but I think you can make it to the top layer there with just a normal jump if you time it right. And
very risky, but it worked out.
Yeah,
it's got reflect, so that's good.
I'm kind of surprised he managed to make it to these two bosses without magic key or fairy, but.
And Patrick says that, yeah, so Homer up-A'd and is giving up on finding the child, so I'm going to take the risk of not having fairies, so this this could be interesting.
Yeah, that could be a nice opportunity for ghostDunk to make a comeback.
ghostDunk does not have a key here after casting Reflect, so...
Oh, yeah. I thought he was maybe going back for some experience or something, but yeah. He needs to find a key. There might not actually be... The randomizer's logic does not include putting in enough keys for the palace, I don't think.
No, it doesn't think like that. I mean, there can be an abundance of keys, but... There is a setting in Randomizer... Oh, there's a key! Well, ghostDunk got lucky. I was gonna say there is a setting in Randomizer where you can where it says it puts in a bunch of keys into palaces.
Yeah,
that's not turned on here, but that's just an option that you can play with.
ghostDunk, don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. I think he's trying to get enough experience to gain 2 levels from this palace. He's kind of on his last life though. And, I mean, if he just killed this Moa and this Doom Knocker, that would be enough.
Yeah, I would definitely go back for place the gym right now. Just cut the losses.
Just kill the Moa. I mean... Oh, okay, well... Hopefully he makes it back. It's only got 2 bars of health. Does he have life, or is that Homer?
Does have life. Good. Just used it. And yeah, Clem, what fairy isn't always required. It's not like glove either, where you can say glove's not required, but really it is.
Yeah.
I think at this point glove's just required with the way GP is, but yeah, very there's few situations where fairy isn't required. Yeah, but it's just nice to have, and it does tend to have required rooms in a lot of these palaces. But so far we haven't seen one, so
I think
maybe it won't
fairy's
be.
probably required like 60% of the time, and
Yeah,
and
like
glove is probably like 99% of the time.
yeah,
Or
like
99.5.
I think you would have to like turn off GP rooms or something. Like I don't know, like how you could really get a GP to where you're not going to have glove being required.
Well, see, I can actually say that I had a gloveless game once. I couldn't find it. I was one of my first games I played on the randomizer, and I was just sort of playing it casually. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I just could not find the glove. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to do GP anyway. And I was able to finish it. So it happens. It's just so rare. So rare.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to get a pretty quick T-Bird and Dark Link for that to happen. But yeah, ghostDunk was able to place the gem now. And Homer found the trophy in P2. So, may or may not get shield.
Hmm. Yeah, Ghost did say that the item in that palace was a heart, so not gonna go for it, which is good. Unfortunately, yeah, Homer picked it up. Homer picked up all the hearts, so he's gonna have a big advantage in GP if things carry on the way they are. Because I think that I mean, having hearts is nice. Let's just say it that way. I'm not gonna say experienced players should never skip hearts, but I mean, I skip hearts a lot, and I'm not super experienced, but I think it would be useful for ghostDunk and Homer to have more hearts.
Yeah, I think magic containers are probably what both would rather have. But I mean, if you see hearts, I mean, I'm never going to say no to an extra heart. So. It's like, yeah. So that locked door that ghostDunk couldn't get through is actually where Helmet Head was. So
I don't even remember where was Magic Key.
it was you had to get 6 magic jars, and it was in New Casado.
Yeah, and ghostDunk doesn't even have the 6 yet, unfortunately.
I think the 6 magic jar was spell, right?
Well, we talked about that being a possibility, but
no,
no,
it was in Maze Island.
Maze Island, yeah.
Maze Island, that's right. Yeah, I don't think ghostDunk got any of the items in Maze Island. And yeah, it definitely did not, because I see tracker right now. Actually, I don't think it's ghostDunk's first time into New Casado, actually.
I feel like, yeah, I thought he'd been here before, but I don't know. I think the Maze Island entrance is close to New Casado here, but because homerjsmash didn't have to go very far to get his next magic container.
No, he's been into Maze Island too.
Yeah,
it's close to the item. It was like on the bottom, kind of close to the palace. Just didn't grab it.
Did he not, or was it the other magic container he didn't get?
The hard container was spell locked.
Mm.
Well, ghostDunk on the sheet looks like he marks out that he did find one of the items, but didn't find the other one in Maze Island.
Homer using spell to take care of an ache that was about to be a real headache. Get it? No? Okay. See, it's because aches. I mean, the bats are called aches in this and not keys for some reason. Never mind. Alright, looks like we got P6 on Homer's side. It looks like I destroyed Animus with my horrible joke.
Very, well, we're all routed up to this point for Homer to go to P6 last. Valiant enough.
Which is good routing, because
Yeah.
you don't want to walk through here twice.
No. I do know there's a magic container in P6, but probably not gonna want to figure that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Who puts a bridge under a forest?
Was not very entertained by that.
Yeah. I was very entertained. Minecraft moment indeed. Oh, this is a... And Homer's cast Dash. Oh god. This is an interesting room. I've never seen this one before. That's pretty cool.
Homer side.
Yeah.
Yeah, this room is it's that'd be really bad with Dash, but yeah, this is a very scary room. Just
Oh,
because,
God.
Yeah, those enemies can spawn right off there, and especially if you
Jeez.
get a bad enemy set that drips out of there. It's
Well, fortunately, I think Mogos or something like that, or the ghosts or guineas or whatever they're called in this, they would teleport to the bottom of the screen, so they'd be out of the way. But I think when they initially appear, at least the Mogos would be at that elevation that they'd go down, I think. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, Doom Knockers would be a freaking nightmare. You're right, Clem.
Snuck is back to Guma.
With Attack 5, it's a lot better than Attack 2 or whatever it was.
I'll see if it can actually knock off a health point this time. Yeah, it definitely does, so that's good.
Alright, using safe strats, which I always say are not as safe. Well, this isn't the safest strat, but yeah, I like to be more aggressive, let's just say, because more aggressive means you don't have to be perfect for as long. Less time for your pattern to go off rhythm.
Yeah, Guma's just a really finicky boss. To me, it's the hardest boss in this entire game. It's just a really weird with his maze of how he can hit you just randomly, even if you are doing the same pattern, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a simple enemy, and yet it's so difficult to get used to it. You know what I mean? Like it just moves back and forth a little bit and swings a mace. That's all it does, and yet the timing is very tight.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Homer did find Barbara, so first time getting the opportunity to see Barbara today.
I remember mentioning, imagine. Oh gosh, Ghost was so close. Imagine Drippers giving you blue Foca. Well, with the current game, that can't happen because, like, the GP enemies have like their own sprite sheet. So, like, and I'm sure that their programming takes up a different amount of space than the normal enemies too. So Dig Shake would have to program the randomizer to like do a lot of shuffling to get those sorts of enemies to appear in normal palaces.
Only admitted 300 experience today, so pretty low for Barba, but yeah, looks like yeah, I think that's a dead end for homerjsmash right there, so probably just gonna up A and go back to West after this.
Yeah, drippers in GP would work like that, Irene. I'm just not sure if there are any, in this version of the randomizer, any drippers in GP.
Actually, GP's in the east, isn't it? Yeah, so probably just figuring it's going to be easier to go through the Valley of Death than upping back to west.
There's also some glitch enemies in GP, like you can put aches into GP, but they sort of glitch out, and sometimes like bubbles load strangely in GP. So if the enemy is chosen randomly, it might lead to some glitches, but probably nothing game-breaking.
Homer's having a little bit of a tough time getting the enemies to get the encounter skip here.
Yeah.
Can't ferry, and just deciding to up A back to west.
Now, something that people have started to do, as of about a year ago, I think, it's a fairly recently discovered trick, is when you go into a lava encounter, if you duck and stab 4 times or 5 times, I think it doesn't really matter between the two of those, and just walk out. If that's all you do, then it manipulates the enemies into coming right at you when they spawn, which makes it easier to get the encounter skip. Unfortunately, another death for ghostDunk. Hopefully he makes it this time. He's on his last life here.
Duma's just tough. I mean, yeah, I remember starting out, that was the one boss that I just could not get. Like, if I don't know, maybe if I was any lower than 666, I couldn't get Kuma. I mean, it's just tough. Especially when you have to do him a bunch of times. Anyway, we'll see how long it takes to get to Thunderbird. Being with 577, I think Homer's got to feel really good.
Yeah. Nice.
And the only thing he's probably sweating in the back of his mind is just, you know, a fairy required room or something.
Yeah.
And there's a few more fairy required rooms than are in regular palaces, so that's the bigger concern with GP.
That's a game over for ghostDunk, unfortunately. Yeah, shield would have been really helpful there. He has a pretty good life spell, but he can't cast it twice. If he had picked up that second magic container, that would allow him to get the magic key. He would actually have 2 castings of life there.
Yeah.
Ooh, death for Homer, and an up and A.
And that's a room right there where you don't need fairy, but fairy would just make that 10 times easier, unfortunately. That's just a nasty chicken placement.
Oh, that bubble though. Poor guy.
Homer never went back to pick up shield, so...
Oh, Homer making me nervous right there. Jumping like that.
Oh, there's a second one.
Yeah, I think that's what killed him last time too, right? I mean, on the last life. Yeah, imagine, like, he's not fairy blocked, but fairy sure would be nice.
Yeah, that's an awful room right there.
And Thunder doesn't do dick to these guys, so you can't kill them with Thunder.
Nope, it's...
Spell doesn't work either. Thunder could clear their fireballs, but it would also hit the enemy, so if your plan was to jump and Thunder to clear their fireballs, because you hit the enemy, it would cancel your inertia, and it would cause you to fall into the lava anyway, so that wouldn't work.
Oh, was able to get past it.
Yes, with the use of dash, which was pretty cool.
And there's Thunderbird.
Oh boy. And
Yeah,
this
that's
is so
something,
early.
and that's something that's nice too. That I just don't think's really been studied a lot, but I think it's something I've noticed is that dash seems to make the enemies also act differently,
Yeah.
and so that's a good test slash trick right there in order to get the enemies off of there quickly by using dash is what I think happened there.
Now, I don't know how much GP is going to be after this, because there's only like 2 or 3 rooms before this. Sorry, like 3 or 4 rooms before this. And
That elevator room had a lot of different paths.
yeah, that's the thing.
Could have been loops, but
Yeah, so it's hard to say if this will be a long GP. I mean, if that elevator room just led to like 2 or 3 rooms, then this will be a long GP. If those were these huge diversions, then this could be a very short GP. So
probably guess we're probably halfway at this point. I'd be pretty surprised if Dark Link was pretty quick.
I think so too. I'm gonna say 10 rooms. No, 11 rooms. So this is room number 1 afterwards. We should do that. We should be like, how many rooms? You know how they're always like, oh, what chest is the boss key going to be in The Link to the Past?
Yeah.
Like, how many rooms after Thunderbird will Dark Link be? But then we'd have to pay attention.
That's a good point. Oh, well, it's 2.
Well, I lost. Clem lost. Sorry, Clem, you can't do that.
Well, I definitely lost.
I think Irene is closest, but we're not going to use the Price is Right rules here.
That's right. Yeah, and ghostDunk beats Skooma. Nice job. And places that gym. Big congratulations to getting past that.
Alright, there's time for Homer. You should press the button, Homer.
Exactly 110.
Very nice.
That was a really good time.
It's a clean looking time. Oh man, this room looks annoying. Oh, you got it.
A few different variations of that room too. Some I think are like upstab blocks. I get confused which variant is which whenever I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah, there you go. 1 hour and 1 millisecond. Well, that'd be pretty sick too. All right, let's see if he's coming in here. Let's see. Star asked, and Homer said, "Sure, 1 sec." So I'll keep an eye on the. Oh, I'm in the wrong server for that. There he is. Hey Homer, how's it going, man? TG?
Thanks a lot. Yeah, that was a fun one. I really wanted fairy.
Yeah.
Guess I didn't need it.
That's a good thing too.
Yeah, thank goodness GP was so easy.
Awful.
Yeah, I got so turned around. I have no idea where I didn't go.
Hey, Homer,
So yeah,
how's it
thank
going,
goodness
man?
I didn't need
GG?
it, because it was going to be another 10-15 minutes of me digging that out probably.
Yeah, and ghostDunk did forfeit, but he's going to be coming in for an interview, so we'll get to talk to him and you at the same time, which is nice. That's a good thing too. So it'll be a minute or two before he shows up, I'm sure.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds good. Did he find the child?
No, he didn't.
Man,
He
I wanna go
was
back
doing
in.
well at first, and then he had a couple hiccups that we'll talk about when he gets in here. But I think his skills there. He just needs to pick up on a few things. But yeah, I'd say as far as you go, you did very well here. 1 hour and 10 minutes for a full 6 gem seed.
Yeah, this I would say this is one of the best races that I've had, or even just seeds in general, practice or otherwise, until 5. I didn't like my 5. I got turned around in 2 and 1 as well. Palaces, maybe weren't the greatest. GP was like stupid easy, other than that first room. So I got lucky there. But yeah, I thought that this one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it really helps when I think West and East were both didn't have much water and you didn't need boots from Death Mountain. That was islands.
Yeah, I saw all of 5 seconds of that Death Mountain. Instead, nope. I was looking for the glove. Once I found the glove, I was like, okay, cool. I don't need Death Mountain.
I gotta say, I was lolling pretty hard at the fact that you had 2 dried canyon biomes where the boots aren't useful at all, except for getting the water tile, and then the island biome with the boots for the Death Mountain, which is the most difficult one to get boots out of. But that's ghostDunk in chat. How's it going, man?
Good. I definitely need some more practice. That was a really frustrating one. I got off to a really good start, but at some point, I think around Island Palace, like I got really confused, and I started forgetting all the hints I had taken the time to go pick up. I started forgetting them, so I really need to start writing those down. But yeah, and then I just had a lot of issues getting through palaces. I'm sure you saw me try to kill Guma like 70 times.
Yeah, I think that there was one clear and sort of obvious thing about your run. You had the skill to keep up with Homer, but I don't think you were paying attention to the logic of the seed, because the game never requires you to go into a palace until you have fairy or the magic key.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sequence break, but
Yeah.
I don't know, sequence breaking without something essential for the entire game is...
Yeah. Right. Well, I forgot where the boots were. I didn't spend time to find the cave on the East Continent, because I knew the magic key was on the East Continent, and I forgot where the child was. So I was like, well, all those things either lead me to fairy or magic key, and I totally forgot where to go for any of them.
Well, you just needed to find one more magic container, and then talk to the lady in New Casino.
Yeah, I was worried it would be there.
The child in P5 gave Homer a huge headache and a lot of worry.
Mm-hmm.
That was blocking the fairy spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I got so turned around. I thought that one of the rooms I went into was a dead end, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought that the room with the pillars when there's no ceiling, I thought was a dead end, but then I thought I did everything else. But obviously, either that I'm wrong with that, or I didn't do something I should have.
Now, I gotta say, ghostDunk, if things had been a little bit different, if the magic key was in a palace and fairy is supposed to be what you get before going into the palaces, in that case, I was gonna say, oh well, yeah, then you would want to dig P5, with just manual keys. But then again, the logic wouldn't require you to go in there.
Yeah,
because recursive logic is hurting my brain right now.
Yeah, it was. I knew pretty much as soon as I wasted a whole bunch of time on the Island Palace, like I knew that I was pretty much sunk, because it was very clearly a fast seed.
Yeah, I think so. I think Homer was also just playing really well today. He was very clean.
I will have to go back and watch the VOD. That would be awesome to see. But yeah, well played, Homer. Very good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think just stuff kind of worked out for me at the beginning. Got lucky, and then got lucky in GP. I I don't think I did anything particularly amazing, but I just tried to play clean and not make mistakes. Because sometimes I get a little lost and I end up spending too much time in Death Mountain or too much time digging an item out. I just tried to keep my eye on the prize, and then in 5 I just lost all of that and started to get so frustrated. And finally,
maybe I enjoy this game so much. At a certain point, I just lose any sense of urgency and just enjoy playing.
I've been that way. I have definitely been that way. And, I think a lot of players still go out of their way for just a little bit of fun. I think in a match that I was calming yesterday, they had the Tutti Flute and they saw the River Devil there. And the River Devil wasn't blocking anything. But they just had to go down there and play the Tutti Flute.
I actually did that.
Oh, I missed it this time. Oh, cool. You got to give him...
It wasn't out of my way, but I was just like, yeah.
You got to give him some attention. That poor guy. He never gets any friends.
Yeah, he was pretty worthless tonight. That's for sure.
I don't think I've played a seed where he was worth anything.
Oh, I've definitely had a mountain seed where that was the only pathway to get through. I think I've had an island seed too, where you needed to blow the whistle.
Huh.
If you play with boots not being able to cross any terrain, and you get like an island biome on the east, there's a very high chance of needing the flute there.
Or if you don't find boots.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I have another race I've got to call actually in 8 minutes, so I'm glad that this was a fast one. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for the restream, the comms, the tracking. I really appreciate all of it, and y'all have a good night.
You too, GG.
Good night. And same. I got to pick my roommate up from work, which is I'm glad it finished up quickly. So thanks again for the restream. I really appreciate the stream and the commentary. It's awesome to have so many people interested in Zelda 2 randomizer, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, and gotta say, your room looks a lot better than mine or Animus's room.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm showing you the good side of it. And this guy started scratching me during the Goomba fight.
Oh, your cat?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gotta be.
Yeah.
He was just trying to troll you. That's what cats do, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys once again. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.
Take care.
Have a great one.
All right, I guess that does it for us today. I was going to ask these guys if they had other stuff going on in the week. I usually try to get that in, but it was a good race. I think ghostDunk has a lot of potential. He just, if he sort of manages that more meta side of playing the rando, I think he'll be a real threat. And since this is his first game, I believe, in the Swiss, anything could happen from now on.
Yeah, he's definitely very close, and Homer did a really good job today, I thought, as well, just really routing that very cleanly, not going after every item, and just taking some risk along the way, and they paid off. So that was just a really well done seed by him, I thought.
Star saying that the .gg room was called Vanilla Bouncy Cat. That's awesome. I didn't know. Was that on
That's
purpose?
a new addition. No, that was not on purpose. It is a new race stream name available now. Apparently, TH added a bunch of new ones earlier.
Oh, okay. So you can customize what kind of room names.
No, it just randomly picks from a list. So
yeah,
like
I mean,
Forest, yeah.
Yeah, but the list is customized.
Yeah, it varies by game.
Cool.
It's really awesome.
So the race earlier was Tasty Fairy. I don't think I really want to know what fairies taste like. Thanks.
You can put them in a pot in Breath of the Wild, so.
I think it's more of a case of they help with it, whatever you cook. I don't think you actually cook the fairies, Nightcrawler.
Well, if you pluck their wings off, they don't have a choice about it. Oh.
That's just cruel, Nightcrawler.
Oh, is I not supposed to say that? All right, just distract everyone with upcoming races while I make my escape. Perfect.
Nightcrawler, everyone.
I'll take a bow.
In all honesty, though, thanks to both of our runners, GG's to Homer and ghostDunk for putting up a great show. Good luck to them in their future group races. Shout outs to our two commentators, Animus and Nightcrawler, providing some good and entertaining commentary. Thanks to my fellow tracker, Patrick, for helping with behind the scenes. And thanks to everyone in chat for watching. Coming up on the ZSR schedule, currently over on ZSR Main, we're going to go over and raid in the Windbreaker Randomizer Season 4 Tournament Losers Bracket Quarterfinals match. Jawas versus Clarion, Game 1 of the Best of 3 series. We're going to go see how they're doing. Coming up, we've got a number of race streams tonight into tomorrow. A little less than the 11 we had today, but 10 is still but 7 still a bunch. Starting off midnight Eastern, and in just over 2 hours, we've got the Majora's Mask Randomizer Season 2 Tournament Qualifier number 12. We've got a variety of other things, and the main Z2, we've got some cross keys matches. We've got OTR, another one-way rando match, Finish Camp rando, and we also have another Zelda 2 rando tournament, and one of Animus's matches. Group A here, Animus versus Bob the Elder, will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see if we can get a crew together for that race stream. Good luck to Animus on that.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yep.
Oh, I got one for you real quick. What's the best time to schedule a Twilight Princess match? At midnight! Yeah!
That was bad.
Perfect.
That was really quite bad. But yeah, with that, let's go raid the Windmaker. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night.
Wonderful.
Yeah.